their minds on it, they're thinking about it, and it can be a pretty stressful time. How do you get through the day, especially if you're cooking a meal for your family or for a group of friends, to where it's not so cumbersome and not so stressful, and it can be enjoyable for the cook?
Well, exactly. There are several things that I think you can do. The first thing is plan your work and work your plan. Never start thinking about what you're making for Thanksgiving the day before. Now, I realize we're getting pretty close to the day before, so I'll encourage everybody, hopefully you've already kind of thought through what your menu looks like.
Right.
There's this ongoing debate, do you love the turkey most or do you love the sides? And I think, if you ask 8 people, you're going to get 8 answers. But it's one of those things where, really kind of have some extra sides, because I think on Thanksgiving you can give yourself permission to do a little bit more than just your vegetable, your starch, and your protein, that kind of thing. So I like doing lots of different sides. Do the ones that the family loves, do the traditional ones, that's all great. But don't be afraid to take shortcuts when and where you can and if you need to, because I think that that's going to make life a lot easier as you get this whole process going. Try to do as much as you can ahead of time. Start planning your menu a few days in advance. Don't grocery shop the day before if you can help it, because the grocery stores will be mobbed, and beyond that, you may run the risk of them running out of some key ingredients that you need. So it's really about planning your work in advance, planning your menu, doing as much prep work in advance that you can. I am making apple crisp instead of apple pie this year because it's just faster, it's easier. But I'll make my streusel topping ahead of time and freeze it. So that way the only thing I have to do on Thanksgiving is slice my apples, or peel them, slice them, and then get them into the baking dish, and then get my streusel topping out of the freezer, crumble it on top, and get it in the oven. It's that kind of thing. So it's all about doing the little things that you can ahead of time so that on game day, as I like to call it, you're not quite so stressed. Also, press your family members into service. Even the little ones, get them setting the table. Get them taking care of that. If you're hosting family, make sure everybody brings something. There is nothing more unfair in my mind than having one person be responsible for the entire meal, because by the time you sit down at the dinner table, if you're the cook, you're exhausted.
And you can't even eat.
and you can't enjoy it, because at that point you're worried about everybody else. Everybody's hungry. This is a group effort. Thanksgiving, think back to the first one. Everybody contributed. So it's one of those things where get everybody involved, get everybody helping, and then when it's all said and done, send as many leftovers home with all the folks that come over to dinner. That way your refrigerator's not overwhelmed, and the next day you're not feeling like, good grief, how am I going to get through this mountain of food?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to tell our listeners to go ahead and not only just watch David when he's on QVC, but also buy his book from QVC.com. It's called In the Kitchen with David, Comfort Foods That Take You Home Cookbook, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of recipes in there that maybe some of them you've ever eaten before, and some of them you have, but go ahead and buy it and try them. I'm sure your family and friends will love you for it.
Well, and let me say
David,
also,
I want to thank you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say also that the book is not only available at QVC, but it's also in bookstores nationwide and wherever bookstores are sold online. So if you are able to shop for the book in your local area, local bookstores, or online, you can find it there in addition to QVC. So we wanted to make it available to everybody, whether they're a QVC customer or not.
Oh, wonderful. And I was going to say over 245,000 of them sold, so I don't think it's a small number of people, and it has to be a great book to sell that many.
Well, it has been a true blessing, and I am humbled every day when I hear that number, because it just lets me know that there are a lot of folks out there just like me who are home cooks, who are looking for some new and exciting recipes that are easy to make, and I hope that you'll find that when you read the book.
Oh, most definitely. I asked for it for Christmas, so I'm waiting for mine, and I know I'll get it because I usually get what I ask for. So
that's awesome. Lucky you. That's great.
Well, thank you for taking the time to spend with us tonight and talking about your life and QVC and food and everything. Now everybody in the chat room wants to run and go eat because they're all hungry.
Well, good deal. Let me wish you and all your listeners a very, very happy holiday season, not just Thanksgiving, but right through to the holidays, and spend the time with the people that you love, because that is what's most important.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, and we wish the same to you.
Thank you so much, ladies.
All right. Have a good night.
Be well. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I can't wait to get the book because, everybody loves comfort food like he said. And
yes.
I always love to try new recipes. I do it to my family all the time. Well, not so much anymore like I used to do, like every single weekend, but I still try to do it. because, kids grow up and they're on their way, and who are you going to cook for? But
That's right.
I love trying new recipes because you get tired of eating the same stuff every time. And even if it's something that you do eat, you can find so many different ways to cook it by adding a different spice or something to it.
Well, David has covered all the bases in the book because he just has covered, he has salads, he has, meat, he has sides, he has desserts. Every possible category you can imagine, he has in the book. And as a matter of fact, for this year, for Thanksgiving, I've got a couple different family dinners to go to, and I am going to make what we call sweet potato casserole here in the South. David has a sweet potato casserole that is, he calls it the sweet potato pineapple casserole. And and it's just adding crushed pineapple to the recipe, basically the same ingredients. And the topping is like a pecan, brown sugar, flour butter topping. So it's the crust, it forms like a crust, and then, you have your sweet potato casserole, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm going to sneak that in on my family this year and see how they like it.
I think they're going to love it. Just by your description alone, I know I'd eat it.
Well, and another thing he's got, he actually has a recipe for holiday ham in here. And the interesting thing about it is he also has a recipe for a honey mustard glaze that you can brush on the ham. And I don't know if you saw, but several weeks ago when they started kind of easing into the holiday season with their holiday food offerings and so forth, I purchased a Smithfield spiral slice, no bone in ham. It's already cooked. And I got them last week, and they were already frozen. And so I'm actually going to prepare one of those. And basically, you thaw it out, you put it in the oven for a little bit, just kind of warm it up if you prefer that. But I'm going to try this glaze on the ham this year to see what it's like. It from the ingredients, it just looks absolutely wonderful.
And so, you sent me my plane ticket, right?
I'm putting it in the mail tomorrow. I'll be overnighting it to you, so you can get in really early.
At least FedEx me some leftovers or something.
Yeah, I'm going to FedEx you some leftovers. So, he really, when he says there's comfort food in the book, there is definitely comfort food in the book. He has everything from southern fried okra. Now, if you grew up in the South, you know what that is. It's just okra that's fried. It's like fried squash, and I just love the book because there's so many recipes in here that, I ate as I was growing up and have eaten in my adult life. And there are so many pictures. When you get the book, Pam, I'm telling you, you will sit and drool for hours because just about every page has a picture of the recipe, just about every other page at least. It's a color picture of what the recipe is supposed to look like. It makes you hungry. It really does.
Oh, I know. I know. I've got, how many other cookbooks as well, and you can never have enough of them as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm so excited. My daughter is in the process of moving this week. As a matter of fact, today has been her big moving day, and she's moving to a bigger place, a bigger kitchen. And so I actually got her a copy of this for Christmas, and I can't wait because she's really, tried her hand at cooking now. And for her birthday, I got her one of those big KitchenAid mixers, and she's just been cooking up a storm. So, and she's all too happy. As a matter of fact, we're going to her house for Thanksgiving this week, so it's going to be neat, in her new place, and to be able to, for once, she's going to do all the cooking, the vast majority.
That'll be nice.
But I'm bringing the main parts. I'm bringing the turkey and the ham and a few other little small side dishes, but she's doing the bulk of it. But it's so neat, it's like, finally. Someone else is doing this besides me. So it's going to be kind of nice to just go and eat, But yeah, anyone that has not purchased this cookbook, but you are a cooker and you love to cook, this is a great cook. I highly recommend it. It's beautiful. It's very well done. And if you've never seen David-Venable on Sundays and Wednesdays on QVC with his show, In the Kitchen with David, I really encourage you to check it out. He will be on tomorrow night. His show comes on at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on Sundays it comes on at 12 noon. And as he said, on Sunday his show is either about 3 or 4 hours. So it's always entertaining, always informative. I have yet to say I've turned it on and never learned something. So
that's so true. That's so true. And it's so hard not to pick up the phone to buy something every single time. I mean, I have tons and tons of QVC stuff in my house, and I'm the same way. When you said your daughter was asking you, what are you buying now, every time I get a box, my husband says, what did you buy now? You know?
Yes. Well, and, and really, in truth, I'm not an avid buy all year from QVC, but this time of year, starting in about, mid-September through the first of the year, I am watching QVC, because not only that, but I love, their studio decorations. They're just so nostalgic. They have so many different types of holiday-oriented, product shows that they do that are just so neat to watch, and in a lot of ways, to me, it almost seems like that it's almost funner to watch that than it is a lot of the stuff that's on TV nowadays. So, but yeah, this time of year when I start ordering and I order stuff from there, the boxes start coming, my kids are going, okay, which one is mine? I'm like, I'm not telling. None of them are yours, and my youngest daughter, she always asks, okay, which one's mine? She just did that to me the other day because I had 3 boxes sitting on my front porch. It was like, she's like, Mom, really? I'm like, well, it is the holiday season. So, they give me a hard time. But I, honestly, I can tell you that I have never purchased anything from QVC that I can say was a dud or bad quality. And here in North Carolina, in the town where I live, they opened up a what's called a Tanger Outlet Mall, which is pretty big in the southeast. And it's an outdoor strip mall, but it's huge. I mean, it has all these name brand stores at discounted prices. And QVC has a store in this mall. And so I love just going in there. I bet I've been in that store more than I've been in any other store at the Tanger Outlet Mall.
Yeah.
It's been open. So,
I know they have one here too, but it's probably a good 45 minutes away, if not a little bit longer, up north. And so to me, it's what I love too about QVC is that you can sit at home in your PJs, watch them, pick up the phone, dial the number, and have something delivered to your door. And open it up and be just as happy to see it as you did when you were ordering it. And can't wait to use it. It's just, I'll tell you, I don't know who thought up this on-air buying stuff, but I want to thank them.
I know, really. And I'm going to tell you, the last several years that I have, I have done any Christmas shopping at all, or I've done any kind of online shopping, the vast majority of stuff that I buy at Christmas time comes from QVC just because their products are such good quality. And a lot of times when I open packages, I see that products, they blow me away. I mean, you see something on there and they really present it well and it looks so nice, otherwise you wouldn't buy it. But then when you get it, it what you see on there sometimes just doesn't do it justice. When you get it in hand, it's like, wow. So it's, I love what they offer. They offer something for everyone, and you just can't go wrong. So we're just giving them huge plugs. but I'm a tried and true testimonial. I can tell you from purchasing from them for years and years that it's just a great place to shop. And I'm like you. I love ordering. It comes to the door. I don't have to go fight crowds on Black Friday. And if I want to even have the whole Black Friday feel, I can turn on QVC because they do their own little version of Black Friday. Right. And you can order, and it's just kind of really a neat concept, but yet I didn't have to get stressed. While they're out fighting over whatever, I've already ordered. I can be wrapping presents on Black Friday, and I have to deal with that. Now, let me ask you, while we're speaking of that, because, that's coming up this week too, what do you ever get out in Black Friday? I mean, have you done that before?
Never. Well, I can't say never, but I mean, in so many years that I can't even count, I do not go out because I've been shopping from QVC for over 20 years. So that'll tell you something right there.
Yeah.
The crowds, you're in there with your winter coats inside the malls, and you're sweating, and the people are all over the place, and you're trying to find something, and then they're out of it, or the last one left is damaged or something.